Hello and welcome to the Resdev Masters Den live on Riding the Ditch here from Mansfield Bowl. Looking at lanes 23 to 26 then, as you've got Ian Kennedy bowling on 25, going for that 10 pin, gets a 10 pin spare then, starting off well, he's here, 2 strikes and a 9 spare to start. We've actually got the free camera set up this time. I think it's the first time we've actually got it sorted, but Mansfield does have decent connection by the looks of it from the 5G hub, so hopefully you won't be getting the glitchiness watching at home then. So then Paul going for his spare then on lane 24. Can he pick up this 7 pin? Easy as you like that for Paul, picks it up nicely. Switch over then to the iPad camera. Camera in the middle of centre. 19 through to 22. Dave Bloomfield. Another Lancashire man. Bowled last week in the counties, did Dave. Nice strike for him there. Looked a little bit inside. I think he was worried about it, but managed to get the strike anyway. You see Carol picking up hers. I don't see Carol missing many single pins, to be fair to her. Jeff there with a nice strike in the SPT Masters finals next week. He'll be live again on Riding the Ditch. Keith Hodge sporting a very colourful shirt. Don't think the camera really does it justice. I'll have to sort out the white balance when we go to a redress, but I was rushing to get the equipment up ready for the start of the game, so that's why it's a little bit dark, this camera, but we'll get it sorted a bit later on. See Steve Coates then getting a strike there. Covering nicely from his split that he left in the 5th frame. See Frank then. Goes heavy on the head, he gets away with it though, gets a good 9. As Keith picks up his 2 on the left hand side then. As we were saying, I don't know if you've seen it on the socials, but next week ESPT Masters as well will be live from Stroud Bowl. So if you're looking for a bit of entertainment next week as well, make sure you're tuning in, watching that one. Franklin missing his single pin, coming back from the Malta Open. Last weekend it was. He left a 5-7-10 if you didn't see on social medias. Ian Kennedy put it up. So they even have him over in Malta. Oh, it's a 5-pin. Left for Jeff. And he is on camera, so the pressure's definitely on for him. And if you've watched the live streams before, for 5 pins left, we've introduced it in the league on a Thursday, definitely. Slow claps and everything for anybody that misses a 5-pin, but Jeff here then on 26, 5-pin. Will he spare it up? Missing a 5-pin is like shooting someone's gran in bowling. It shouldn't happen. It was never in doubt there from Jeff. Picks that pin up nicely. And then Frank on 21. Nice strike from Frank there. Covering nicely from his single pin miss on that last frame. We've got Steve Coates, lane 20, nice strike from Steve. Louise leaving the 8-pin, unlucky from Louise there. So, round on the scores, no one really running away with something as of yet. Most games 7 or 8 frames through. Obviously, as you know, in this sport all could change. Only takes a couple of strings of strikes and you could be running away with a score over 200, but as of yet scores are looking a little bit low. Tricky patterns as always that Jack puts down in this Resdev tour. It's never an easy one and it's shown by the scores as of yet, but as soon as games are finished, what I can see on the scores, I will give you an update. Don't you worry about that one. And then as soon as Jack's put them into the systems, I think he does them after every 2, if I think correctly. I'll give you updates there as well. There's a funky leave left there on lane 20. Don't know who it is that's left it. Oh, it's Carol Orange. What a leave. I think there might actually be a pin missing. He's gone to report something, so if there's a pin missing, if it's the one left there, if it's the 6 pin that needs putting into that rack, then I suppose it's not that bad of a leave really. Nice spare there from Dave. Jeff picks up his spare as well. A little twist of the hips at the foul line. Wasn't too sure on that one. Well, as we wait for lane 20 then to be resolved, we'll switch over to the camera on the far end of the centre then. Back of lanes 23 through to 26. You see, can he go like there? Nice strike right out on 25. Oh, it's a good mix there from Ian on lane 23, and then the other Ian on lane 25 not converting his spare, so we'll go into the 10th frame off the back of an open. See, Jenny then, she picks up a strike bouncing back from her open that she left in the 9th frame. It's finished on 23 for Mr. Clements with a 2:10. Good finish to the games for him. Started off 9 spare, 5 spare. But he kept it clean all the way through. Finishes with a 2:10. But we're watching here. Paul on 2:30 as it stands. Two shots left to go. He's putting in a good first game. Is Paul then. he gets a good wheel, does. Ball there. Another strike on the cards for him. Just the 2-9 frames, but away, just the 2-9 spares. And he's definitely found a line because he's got strikes on every other shot. Change after every game. Oh, then can he finish it off with another strike? Tad heavy on the head pin, gets the 9, finishes with a 259. A good first game for Paul. This is finished for John Strettle as well. 180 for him. A couple of opens to finish, which was on for an half decent game, but a 180, you'll take that anyway for your first game off the 6. We'll go over then to the camera on the because it looks like it's the only one with a bit of action at the end of this first game. The problem again with lane 20, that 6-pin. So once that's resolved, we'll jump over to that camera. I'll finishing with an open after the strike in his first shot, so I suppose it wasn't an open. And he finishes with a 189. In Kennedy then. Chop through the head pin, leaves the 5. Finishes with a 161. Poor game compared to what Ian can put in. But he's steady, is the word that you'd probably describe it. So we'll go to the camera. Middle of the centre then. As we watch Kev Lamb, nice strike from him to finish his first game off, finishes with a 199. Dave Greenfield then picking up his spare there. 161 with a shot left to go. As we see the man from Yorkshire, Big Frank, getting a strike. Struggled a bit in his first game as Frank. 3 opens, of which 2 were splits. And in pretty poor places to concede them as well, which means that he just couldn't get a score going. 4th, the 6th and the 8th frames where he got him. We see then Dave leaving the 8-pin. Oh, that is unlucky. You know it's not your day when you're leaving 8 pins like that. But he finishes then with a 170, does Dave. As you see, the exact same happened on lane 22. See Jeff there picking up the 2 on the left. Finishing, no, he's not finished. He's got a frame left to go, but he's sat on 190 after that open. Louisa, can she make it free to start her 10th frame? Yes, she can. You see there, left shot, Keith Hodge leaving a pretty big split at 410. Frank picks up his single pin spare and he'll finish with a 162. Struggled this first game, as we said. Then 3 opens. Keith Hodge picking up that 1 pin. Every pin matters, so we know. Right then, Louise, can she make it 4 in a row now? Asking for the ball to do a little bit. Gets it in that pocket though. Nicely gets the strike. Finishing off well is Louise here then in this last game. As typical, the camera decides to go off right as the action's carrying on. I'm looking at better cameras, so I'll be getting one better soon, hopefully. Louise then finishing with that 8 there. She'll finish with a 2.23, so we just wait on the 6 pin to be sorted out on lane 20. Frame left to go for everybody on 19 and 20 then. As soon as that's sorted, we'll be going 2 lanes, game 2. Started down the far side as well. So as we were saying then, I think it's 25-26. You got Gianna and Andy moving from lanes 27 over to 25, and you got Jules and Ian moving from 24 over to 26. You've just seen them two on lane 24 from the past. Just right, a shot there. 27, Colin Gross. Was a shot into the pocket, and how them two pins managed to fall, we still do not know. Anyway, we'll go over to the camera. side. So watch Andy Gillespie. Nice strike from the Scotsman. And Kennedy there with the spare, the 10-pin. I think he was happy with that one.
Is it on camera?
Yeah, your celebration was on camera, yeah. Ian's just put his rag to his face to say I had that one. Jan then with a nice strike on 26. We're hoping that the battery in this camera lasts out. Seeing that it's got little charge left, but we forgot to put the batteries on charge, didn't we, last night? So we'll do with what we do. So you see the 10-pin left there by Jenny, unlucky from her. Starting off with 2 strikes so in this second game, so she started off pretty well. So then I don't think I actually ran through the format for today, but we're going to have to wait on that one because we know what's been left down the far side. Sorry, commentary went. Technical issue. I think we should be back up and running now on the commentary. Don't know what happened, but I think we sorted it. Anybody that's been watching's been watching with absolute no atmospheric input whatsoever. But if you want to recap on what's just happened, then 2 5-pins missed. 2 5-pins spared left on lane 16. Both Les Taylor. Still waiting on lane 22 to be sorted, but thankfully they started a little bit earlier this morning. That's why myself wasn't very prepared for it, especially as well when you've got the hour and a half journey up here across the Woodhead Pass. You see Andy Gillespie then bowling 25. Scotsman looking to try and get a strike, leaves the 7-pin there. Started off well, did Andy then. 9 spare, then a 4-bagger, and ended up getting a 5 split. She could only get 3 off. He's looking to bounce it back now. As you see Ian Kennedy there, picking up the spare nicely. Andy Gillespie there picking his spare up, bouncing back from his open that he left the frame before. Jenny bowling line 23 then. Leaves the 9-pin. Jan leave the 4-pin. Yep, it's the 4-pin that's been left there. Dave Greenfield then bowling line 24. The lanky man looking for a bit of a messenger. Leaves the 10-pin note. At some of the scores then. So they nearly finished lanes 27 and 28 with game 2, and we've not finished game 1 yet on 19 and 20, so this could be interesting for the logistics of how the day's going to fall out here now. Camera battery goes. So we'll switch back to the iPad camera. So hopefully you got a bit of commentary this time. So we see that Siren bowling, lane 15. Couldn't get the wheel back on that one. Held too much on the oil in the middle of the lane, which meant that he couldn't get it back into the pocket. So he went straight into that 3-pin, leaving the 1, 2, 4. Left to spare. As we see Les Taylor picking up his single pin again very nicely from Les on 16, going a while nicely, but he's finished then on 27 to 39 from Colin Gross. No, you haven't. Alright then, seeing as though there's a little bit of stoppage and you come over, you know what's happening here? You're having you can both have an interview together then.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
So we're joined now then, as we're watching the iPad from 15 and 16, we've got Colin Gross, who started off on 15 and 16, and we're joined as well by Selwyn, as we've got still this stoppage on lane 20, but boys, how's it gone so far?
Well, for me it's gone very well. I got all the ducks in the first game, which is 222. Didn't miss any spares, so I'm very pleased about that since I've been missing a few lately. So once we get going again, I hope I can increase my scores. Happy days.
Yeah, pretty matched up with the ball, going pretty well. Just struggling a little bit with the carry. If we can just get them single pin taps, there's some biggies out there. A couple of silly pin misses. It might cost me at the end of the day, but hopefully not.
Well, I mean, it's what it's top. What did he say? Went through top 8, top 16, then goes to 8. So you just made the top 16, and it's a refresh in it, a scores in it then.
I don't know. I think the pin's for carries forward. I'm not too sure, but it's just play the lane. Don't worry about any cuts.
There's a good shot out there.
His
Just putting any pressure on yourself.
first couple of games, you can bounce back from that, but it's missing the single pins.
196, 239. It's in there. So yeah.
Just still wait on lane 20. So it's the six pin isn't being picked up. So they've gone to fix the 6 pin, but obviously they've not finished game 1 yet, and you've finished game 2. So yeah, there's going to be a break.
Good idea how to remedy the 6 pin. Just don't leave it.
You can give us a rendition if you want.
No, I've got no songs about the 6 pin at all.
To be fair, Selwyn, I'm actually surprised that you're still awake.
Well, I've got to be honest with you. I shouldn't be awake because I was out quite late last night. But I was, always is. No, I had a nap in the afternoon, so I covered myself. But oh no, I wouldn't do a thing like that. I'd never live it down, falling asleep wearing an England shirt.
Tell you what, if it happens when a live stream's on, we'll have to get a camera in front of him or something to pick it up.
I don't think I'll be wearing the English shirt much longer if that happens.
Oh. Oh. Tell you what, Louise has gone well. She had something like a she had like a 240 or something like that. And Paul had a good first game, but obviously he's had a big stoppage now. You know, he had a line.
Twins, not you. India coming up to watch you. India twin coming up to watch you.
No, it's too far for him.
Is it?
Yeah. He's up in Wolverhampton.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'll have to change the battery in this other camera at some point, but we'll stay with the iPad camera. But it looks like there's going to be some sort of long stoppage, so to speak. Yeah, because it's going to be an interesting one come. Stoppage here after the second games have finished. You know, 3 pairs of lane that are just going to be starting their second once the 6 pin gets resolved on 20. You can see right of shot there, mechanic working hard to get it sorted. And the mechanics here are top notch as always as well. So it clearly can't be an easy fix for him to be taking this long, because he's a pretty decent mechanic. Seen from past tournaments here, he's got stuff sorted pretty well. On the finish on 15 and 16, so we'll have to get the battery changed in this camera over here, because the action is the only bit of action that's going on is 23 and 24. So then camera back up and running then. Yeah, 23-24. For how long? We don't know. You see there, Dave. Nice strike on 23. Finishing well. Here's Dave, that's 3. On the trot for him now. Going into his final shot. You see Jenny finishing with a 2:02 then.
It's the 3 and 6, please.
What's that?
See Louise there, getting a strike to start her 10th frame. Might have been a little bit lucky, but you'll take them all day long. See Ian picking up his spare there. Back up and running on lane 20. All that. The wait for the 6-pin to be formed. And Steve Coates still misses it. Finished for 190 for Ian Kennedy then. In his second. You see Louise then picking up her special finish with at 2:15, following on from a good first game as well. So how the logistics are going to play out here now is the question, but alright, then we'll go over to them lanes that we've been waiting with debated breath to watch the final frame finish then. For Jeff 2:10 to start for him. Oh, and it's a 5-pin left for Carol. One out of hers the last shot anyway. So it means she will finish with a 134. Struggled as Carol Orange there in her first game. Winner over in Scotland was Carol as well in the Scottish Open, the senior one. As you see, Keith Hodge starting his 10th frame right in the right way with a nice strike. Steve Coates there, going heavy into the head pin, but gets a good 8. A very good 8. Right then, can Keith make it a double? Nope. Leaves a 6-10. Does the left hand up. You see there, Coatsy picking up his spare. I forgot to take that down, didn't I? You see Keith Hodge picking up his spare then, so he finished in the first game 4-4. Jeff 210 picking a bunch. Steve Coates 181. Cavill Orange 134 and Keith Hodge 158. As the players now switch over. Trevor, after his break, puts the ball in the right spot but leaves the temp in. Jeff looking to pick up that split there but ends up missing them all. So he'll start his second game off with an 8 split miss. Paul then, after his cracker of the first game, puts it in the right area, leaves the 7 pin, but doesn't look like he's lost his mark after that long break from the breakdown on 20. Looks like it seems to be all fixed now. Doesn't seem to be a problem with the 6 pin anymore. As we were saying before, mechanics here top notch. As you see, Kev Lamb picking up his spare on 19. Oh, but the end pairing on show now. Got a couple that are on the third game, a couple that are on the second. So it is a bit of a logistics nightmare now. But Jack's putting in the scores from the people that have bowled the 2 games, so as soon as he's done that, I'll try and get an update from him after 2 so we can keep you updated on the live stream here. But anyway, on show on this camera at the moment, Frank Lindsay on 19, Selwyn about to bowl on 20, as you see. Jeff bowling on 21. As we were saying before, Jeff made the ESBT Masters for the senior section, so we'll see him again next week, as did Colin Gross as well, who you'll see on the other camera once we jump to that one. Yet really to be shown live on the camera as of yet. It was on the iPad cam before on first game, but then went over to the only pair of lanes realistically that are not being covered in 27 and 28 here. Jump over to that camera in a second, but we'll watch to see if Jeff can pick up his spare then, which he can. We'll watch Kev and Martin. Can Martin pick up his spare? Can Kev get a strike? Kev gets a strike. Doing well is Kev so far, so we'll go over then to the camera that we was talking about. As we said, Colin Gross then bowling on 26. Lean backs, but it still gets that strike on the card there. Nine spare and the strike to start in his third game. Hey, Bloomfield then, his fellow Lancashire compatriot gets a strike, does Dave. So he starts off the same way, spare strike. Gary Barlow then, bowling on 26. The Yorkshireman, he gets his strike, and out to the lane. Wasn't too sure on that one, but he gets the strike anyway. We see then Louise bowling 25. Doesn't get that reaction into the pocket that you wanted, hence the reason why she's left that 5-7. He picks up the 5 pin, just misses that 7 pin. And the action of the pin, so unlucky there on Louise. So, as you can see, 23-24, not in action at the moment as there is that incident on 19 and 20, means that Jeff and Steve are obviously only just on their second game, as of Paul and Martin, to be fair. But obviously now Jan and Andy will have to wait until Jeff and Steve move over. Colin Gross there getting another strike on the cards. Still on for that 290 game maximum. We'll go over, see what Selwyn can do. Then on lane 20. I was talking to him before off camera when we had the microphone issue. I didn't actually realise we had the microphone issue, but he was saying that he's got a new style that his coach has implemented on him, wanting him to go a little bit more bent on the start and do a longer stride. As you see then, Jeff leaving the 7 pin. As you look there, longer third step stride, a shorter fourth. It seems to be working well as he picks up that spare nicely. Does Selwyn. You see Martin Clements on lane 22. A nice spare from him. Travel Lambert there, leaving the 3 on the left. As Jeff picks up his spare nicely then. One thing that is good are these stoppages is we can grab the odd person for a chat during the commentary. So Ian Kennedy,
Hello.
how's it going?
How's it going? Not so bad. I'm having a nice sleep in that chair, waiting for myself to bowl again. Apart from that, it's great. The knees holding up, the brain's engaged. All I got to do is get the body to go where the ball should.
If it was as easy as that, eh?
You just go.
You know, you've been around the houses as well as of late. You know,
Yeah.
out and about. You and Carol.
Yeah. France in a seniors tournament. Touring France with the Americans in the Pro-Am. Then Air in Scotland for the Scottish seniors, and then Malta for the Malta seniors. Next stop is Gibraltar in November. Then it's Christmas.
Yeah, I think my dad's going to Gibraltar as well. Yeah. With I think he's bowling with Danny Davis, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
So,
he is.
yeah.
Yeah, remember Danny?
Yeah.
He's a good bowler.
Yeah. He's not bad. Yeah. But oh. But oh. Couple of strikes there then from Kev Lamb and Martin Clements respectively on lanes 19 and 21. If you watch Trevor Lambert then, bowling on 20. Nice strike from him. Can Frank match it then? Heavy on the head pin from Frank. Gets away with it. It's a good 8. Oh, there's a 5 pin leaving left there by 4. Go on.
8:45. Just getting ready for the last 6 games. I was in my room, towel on my waist, sat on the chair, and the right back leg broke completely, and I went completely backwards, missing the wardrobe by about 6 inches. Jarred my neck, my shoulder, on my right hand side, and I had to pull out.
No way. I don't know if that's a win-lose situation, that innit? There's a nice spare of that 5 pin then from Paul. And you struggle in a Masters tournament to be watching somebody miss a 5 pin, but it can happen in this wonderful game we call bowling. See there, Martin getting a strike. Kev just leaving the 10 pin there. Struggled with a carry on that one and was unlucky, to be fair, put the ball in the right spot. Trevor puts it onto the Brooklyn side, leaves at 6-10. You watch Jeff getting a strike on 21. Go back over to the other camera then. Colin Gross on lane 26. That lean back that he seems to have got to recently. Getting the strike though. Yeah. You know he kind of likes it when he does that lead. He's starting well in this third game, is Colin. 9 spare, then 5 on the trot as we watch Dave Broomfield leave the 10 pin. The big shout of, oh, wasn't happy with that one. Was unlucky, to be fair, was Dave. He started this game off well as well. 8 spare, then 4 on the bounce. She's going well. So we watch the Gary Barlow leave the 2. This is the 2 and the 8 pin. Dave Broomfield then bowling at this 10 pin, misses the 10 pin. by quite a long way. Not happy with himself there at all, is Dave. We got a score update. Have you put the scores in?
I can't because it's so
Yeah, I know, it's awkward, isn't it?
so it's all to doings at the moment until I get all them in. I was right about the starting the strings of strikes as still we started in third game. I said there was third and fourth game.
You did, you called it, Jack. You did call it the third game, the string of strikes were coming in.
Years of practice.
That's Louise then. About to bowl. 3 on the bounce from her. Bowling on 25. Leaves that 5-7. We saw her leave it in the second frame of this game. She does the same again on the 6.
Funnily enough, I've played in Malta this week, so yeah, Malta is bowling now isn't great. It's under redevelopment, so moving upstairs. Where is it?
Right, can Louise spare it this time? She was close last time. Picks up that single pin. And 104 for her after 6. Dave on 137.
Somebody came up to me and said, "Oh, Frank, I've got a picture of Frank. I'm from 10." I said, "Late 16." He says, "Yeah." I said, "I know, because I bought a bloke who did exactly the same thing." Pink spotting on 16.
Do you see there, Colin Gross? Another strike still on for that 290 maximum game. Gone through 7. It's a high possibility now. I mean, you did call that as well, Jack. You said that Colin would have a nice time when it got to about the 3rd game. Yeah, we had him on while there was a stoppage before. Him and Selwyn, he was saying. Right then, Gary Barlow then. Can he match the rest on his lane? Just leaving that 6 pin is Gary. As I was saying before, he was in the ISBT's finals. If you didn't watch it, you can watch it back on the YouTube channel. Just go on the video, you'll be able to watch it. That one was live from Stroud, and we're at Stroud again next weekend for the ESBT Masters. It'll be a similar style to this, but what you will have as well in that, you will have a women's and a seniors masters part as well. So we'll have 4 of our senior bowlers there, as you can see, 2 of them in action as at the moment. Jeff and Colin, obviously. Colin stepping up again. 8th frame, lane at 26. Can he carry on this run? Does the lean, the hop, gets the strike. He's going well. See there, Dave getting another strike on the cards. So while we wait till we go back to watch Colin Gross again, see if he can carry on his game, his max of a 290 game. We'll go over to this camera in the middle of the stand and watch a little bit as we get the ball and gets a nice strike on the cards. Obviously this is his 2nd game for Paul. He had a nice 1st game, did Paul, he was in somewhat around the 240, 250 mark. You see Selwyn leave the 6 pin there. Kevlon on lane 19, good strike for him. Jeff Brown, 21. Watch that. Leaves the 2 on the left, so we'll go over now. So back to lane 25. Can Colin Groves continue his run? Wait for the lean and the hop. Oh, I didn't like that one. That's why he stayed in his position at the far line, which leaving the 9 pin. Dave on 26 then, fellow compatriot from Lancashire. Gets the strike, does Dave, shake of the head, arms out wide. We couldn't see it because of Colin's head, but he bowls at that 9 pin, gets the 9 pin nicely. Does Colin, so he's going well in this game. Something that couldn't be said for him last Thursday. Getting beat off his son. Roll back to the cameras then in the middle of the centre. There'll be a bit of action that is going on. Trevor Lambert there just couldn't get the wheel into the pocket. It's finished for Martin Clements. Oh, steady again with that 214, around the same as what he got in his first game. It's finished for Jeff, a 181 for him. Obviously a long break at the end of his first game. But he'll take a 181. Steve Coates then. Getting a strike is Steve. That's 3 on the bounce for him to start off his 10th frame nicely. That moves the on 20. Leaves the 7 pin, does Frank. Paul doing well again. Yeah, he's on 235. Potential of a 236 if he spares this. Steve Coates then. Picking up his spare as well, so it's finished for Paul 230, 236. It's finished for Steve at 190. Jump over to the other camera and then 10th frame for them. Might as well watch this one unfold. Colin Grove started with a 9 spare on a 248, potential of a 258 if he strikes here at this last shot. Dave Brimfield bowling, gets his strike again. That's what 2-5 in the bounce. 247 now for him on the cards, potential over 257. Finishing his game off very well. You see Colin Gross there getting a strike. The camera's about to go off, so we'll switch over to that other one. I suppose just flick it on and off, make sure that it still stays on. As Dave gets his strike as well, means he'll finish with a 257. Good game from Dave. And a strike there from Gary to start his 10th frame. 163, potential of a 183 if he carries on. Louise, what can she start her 10th frame with then? Straight through the head pin, big split for Louise. 179 for her so far. Jeff Bowlesley's. That's 2 pin to start his 3rd game. And Jan, after her break, goes heavy onto the head pin. It gets a nice 7. Louise misses all. And she finishes with a 179. Gary Barlow had the strike to start it on his 2nd, which means he's only one more strike away from that 183 that he could potentially get. That is what he does, finishing strong. Jan Hodge misses that 3 pin. Steve Coates starts his 3rd game off well. Nice strike from him. John Hodge then, Mullen on 24, leaves that 10 pin. Just checking the approaches again. Obviously she's just one of the ones that's had the break before this game. We can have all 3 cameras on show this time. There's action now down on the far end, so we'll go over to the iPad cam. Frankie just getting a strike there on 17, 15, sees Carol Orange leave the 10 pin. Struggled in the 1st game, don't know how she went on in a 2nd. Well, it was a nice spare there from Les Taylor. Another one that's had a stoppage in play. He's starting his 3rd. So as we were saying before, if you're just joining us, there's a bit of a stoppage in play on lane 20, so we've got half the centre that's on the 3rd game and half of the centre that's on the 4th. So it is very difficult to give scores, but Jack is just implementing the 2nd game scores now onto the laptop, and once he's done that, I will try and walk over and nick him off him, basically give you a score update on here. As we've been given the scores now from Frank. So at the top, as we've seen his 2 games live here. Paul Hewitt with a 259 and a 236. He has 10 bonus as well. wage bonuses and the handicap system that chat runs here. Very fair system in the Resdev, which means that he is on a 5.15 after 2. Then in second place, Gary Barlow sat on a 5.02. Dug out a nice second game, did Gary. See, this is where this complication of the fact that some people on the third, some people on the fourth games. Looking at the scores, reading the scores out, I had to just double check Gary Barlow on the second because we'd just seen him in action on 25 and 26, and I thought he didn't have a 264 second game, but obviously we was watching his third second game. He did have that 264. So anyway, after 2 games, Paul Hewitt at the top 5.15, second place Gary Barlow with a 5.02. Then in third is Louise Roberts with a 4.58. But obviously you've seen a couple of big scores going on the third games. The cut-off point at the moment, top 16. In 16th place is Trevor Lambert with a 4.03. As we're saying, still all to play for people that struggled in the first game. Might end up pulling it back as the lanes start to burn off a bit down in the latter stages of their 6 qualifying games. What I'll do is I'll take a picture of the scores and we'll get them up on Facebook. So if you want to see the full standings, if you go over to Riding the Ditch on Facebook, you will be able to see the full standings there. I'm literally just taking the picture now and we'll get it up for you. You see Carol Orange getting the Brooklyn strike, arms outstretched, asking the gods why it happened, but you've got to be loving them as you see. Mike Frosty, Hallowell getting a strike on lane 18. Just seeing then on this, realise this microphone playing up a little bit today, but you see Paul Hewitt getting that strike. That's 4 on the bounce for Paul. He's going well. Is the leader in the Resdev so far. If you want an update on the scores, go over to our Facebook page, Ride in the Ditch, and you'll be able to get a full update. But the top 3 at the moment is Paul Hewitt. You'll be able to see him bowling at the moment on 19 and 20 with a 5.15. Then in second place, Gary Barlow. We're just seeing him bowl his 3rd game. That'll be updated later on the score sheet, because as we were mentioning before, there has been a slight problem with lane 20 in the early moments of this morning. As you see Cliff Dew getting a strike on that said lane. He's sat in second with a 5.02. Then in third is Louise Roberts with a 4.58 then. You see Martin Clemenson going for his spare on 19. Jenny bowling on 21. Couldn't get the reaction into the pocket. Good Jenny. Shrug of the shoulders. See Ian Hollinson heavy on that head pin. Hence the reason why he leaves the 9 pin there. Jenny picking up that 3 in the middle, but leaving the 10 pin, so she didn't get the spare. You see Ian Holland, so he picks up his spare. Nice spare in the corner there from our leader Paul Hewitt, and a nice strike from Ian Kennedy on 21. Bouncing back from his open that he had in the 4th there from Ian. Martin leaving the 7 pin there on lane 20. If due then, fresh from the Malta Open last weekend. Nice strike from him on lane 19. Going well in what is his 3rd game. 9 missed to start, but 5 on the bounce following that, so he's bounced back well. You see Martin Clements picking up his spare. Look up to the bowling gods, puff of the cheeks, says it all really. See Ian Hollands picking up his strike, and Trevor Lambert there being very unlucky to leave an 8-10. Don't know if he's picking up on the microphone, but all you can hear from Trevor's lane is oh dear, oh dear. Paul Hewitt then couldn't get that mix that he wanted, leaves the 3 pin. There's a 10 pin left by Jenny on 22. There's Trevor, went for it, left the 8 pin though, and the 10 pin to join as well, obviously meaning he will get that 8 split miss. Martin Clements then with the strike on lane 19. I'm going to spare from Jenny. Now can Paul Hewitt, the leader at the moment, pick up his? Yes he can. on 21. Over on the left hand side. Still gets the strike though. Strike, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, 7 spare strike to start for Selwyn. Obviously struggling with the carry at the moment, especially when he's thrown it in the Brooklyn side as well. But you still take them strikes all day long. See Cliff Dew there just leaving that 10 pin. Somehow it didn't fall. There's about 2 or 3 pins around it as well. Watch Paul Hewitt then on 19, and we'll jump over to the camera at the back of lanes 15 through to 18. There's a spare for Al Jenkins on lane 15. John Strettle, man from the northeast. Nice strike from John. Northumberland bowler himself. Liveset gets his mix and the strike to go with. Carol Orange with a good 9, meaning she will leave that 6 pin. Yeah, it's a 6 pin. As Al Jenkins gets the strike on lane 16. And Kev Lamb matches him on lane 18. And then I'm back after a quick pit stop. So watch then Al Jenkins on 16. Nice spare from him. Looks like we're coming to the end of this game. Seems to have gone pretty quickly, this one. We'll watch and see what Paul Hewitt then can finish up with. Went on nicely. Did Paul still on a clean game as well. And finish with a 2:36 if he carries on. Sorry, no, 260. 268 if he carries on. Nice strike again from Paul. Really putting a stamp on top spot in this qualifying division is Paul. So can he finish then? Moving on, strike ball, no, gets 8. Means he will finish with a 2:65 from Paul. Off camera on 16 by Keith Hodge. Go over then to camera far side. John Hodge finishing 167. Jeff finishing with a 217. Steve Cox and Andy Gillespie left to go. Steve gets a strike. One more left to go for Steve on 2:24. Can have 2:34 if he carries on. Andy finishes well with his spare, means he'll finish with a 2:12. Nice strike then from Steve Coates. As you can hear, after shot the Selwyn gobble for his turkey that he had in the final frame, means he will finish with a 2:34.
We are going this time on the tunnel. We've got a slight problem. Supposed to be 3 of us going.
And fourth game's up and running. I think a few will be on the fifth games now. Should be pretty close to all being on one, surely. Let's have a look. I think everybody might actually be on the fourth game. I don't think there'll be anybody that's on the fifth game now. Yeah, I'm pretty certain everybody's on the fourth game now. Everybody's had that game rest at some point. And then we watch Gary Barlow, lane 23. Fortunately, that one wasn't a chart-topping hit, which means he only picks up the 6. Gary picks up his spare there. Got hung though in that first frame. Colin, Trevor and Selwyn all getting strikes. Right, can Colin Gross make it 2? strike. Jig the fist bump. If you notice from his game previous, he does the lean and the jump, he likes the shot. If he stays on his shot, he's not too keen on it. 7 pin left there from Trevor, but it's a nice strike from Surin on lane 26. Harry Barlow then going for his 9 pin. Nice spare from Siren, and you probably heard on the camera microphone Selwyn gobble from Colin Gross, getting 3 on the bounce to start his 4th game. Selwyn couldn't get the members bounce there. That 8 pin still wobbling as the table comes down to pick him up. Harry Barlow leaving the 7 pin, so we'll jump over to the over cameras. You watch Frosty there getting the strike on lane 20. Oh, did the 7 pin fall in the end? Did that 7 pin fall in the end? Changed over, thought you left the 7 pin, so changed over on the cameras. Off camera, obviously. We missed it, but Harry Barlow got the 7 pin to fall in the end. Andy Gillespie then, lane 21. Asking a little bit too much of the ball. Don't know what's happening with this camera today, but look at that for focus. Why is it focusing? Taylor go heavy on the head pin. Good 9 note from him. There, you're going to be taking them when you put it into that position. It's a nice spare then from Ade. Ian Kennedy then bowling on lane 20. Leaves the 6-10. Spare for Les then on lane 19. Kennedy there bowling to try and pick up his spare. Couldn't get it, puts it in the gutter. That Callowell leaving that 10 pin on the right. See then Cliff Dew. Fresh from his appearance in the Malta Open, leaves the 7-10. From his reaction there, I thought it was a good shot, but obviously must have been unlucky. We couldn't see it on the camera. I'm watching the same pitch as you are. You see Callowell miss the 10 pin. I'll go over to then the camera on the far end of the centre from where I am. There's a nice spare there then on 16. Kevin London bowling on 15. Pretty well today, leaves the 8 pin. Steady numbers from Kev so far. I don't know what he had in his third, but obviously first two just underneath the cut line, sat in 18th spot. Keeping it steady. You watch John Strattle there. Leave the 10 pin on 18, but there's a nice strike on 16. Spare for Kev on 15 then. You watch Martin Clements on lane 17. What can he do? Nice strike from him. As Jack said it before, very early on in this coverage, he said that come games 3, 4, you're going to see a lot more higher scoring, and it looks that way. But as we say, that commentator's curse at its finest, as we see Frank Lucy on 15, heavy on the head pin, leaves the big 4. Kev Lamb then, can he carry on with his striking spree? Nope, leaves the 7 pin. Frank can only pick up the 2 from the big 4 that was left. Paul Hewitt then, the leader after 2 games, leaves the 4-7. And that's mine, isn't it? That's mine, that. That's where I put my stuff at first.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Spare there for Al Jenkins on 16. Spare on 15 to match. You watch John Strattle on lane 17, leave the 2 on the right, that's 6-10. Frankie leaves the 3-10. At the 3-6, sorry. Frank picks up his. Had the sleeper behind it as well. You see Martin Clement again getting another strike on the cards. There's the northeast man there. John Strattle gets the strike on 17. Jules there then, clearing the deck, getting the spurt. Jump back over to the camera, far end of the centre. Jeff then bowling on 25, nice strike from him. Going well is Jeff, had the first 5-9 spare and then a strike after that. Colin Gross leaving a 10-pin again, another player that's been going alright in this game. First 3-9 spare, then double, then this 9 that he's currently sat on. You see a strike from Surrey as well. There's Trevor Lambert there, leaves the 3 on the left hand side then. 2-4-8 for Trevor. As Colin Gross picks up that spare 10 pin. Don't miss 10 pins if you ask him. Counted it when we was at the ship for doubles. If he was listening to the stream back then. Me and Ian Runacre's taking the nick a little bit. That's all part parcel of the game. So we're then bowling 24 out of the back of a turkey. You might have heard the Selwyn gobble. Messenger pin coming round. Can it take it out? I think it's a bit too slow to potentially knock it over. That is what it is, and he will be left with that 4 pin then on lane 24. Jeff Brown. Nice strike from Jeff. I was saying before, I don't know if you was listening or if you was watching or if the microphone was working, to be fair, because we had a bit of problems with it early on in the stream. It looks like it's all working now. But Jeff Brown and Colin Gross, you'll be able to see on these cameras the 2 pairs of lanes respectively, both in the senior part of the ESBT Masters. You'll be able to watch that live next weekend here on Riding the Ditch is where you'll be able to see it. And then Gross waves the hand at the lane. Obviously was not happy with that one. Selwyn then on 23. Can he bounce back? Heavy on the head pin from Selwyn. As you watch Steve Coates pick up that 7-pin spare nicely on lane 25 then. We'll sit and watch this from Colin, and then we'll jump to the camera in the middle of the centre. He misses it. That 5 pin there, he obviously picked up the 2 that were around it. Couldn't pick up the spare, so that means he goes into the last 2 frames off the back of an open. But watch here, Jenny couldn't get the wheel on the ball, light on the pocket. He didn't show leave. The 3 there that's left, the 2, the 4 and the 5 pin. Watch Ian Hollins pick up 2 on the right after leaving the big 4. Johnny then just taking 2 out of the 3, doing the exact same thing as what Colin did a couple of shots before. I'm gonna have to sort out the focus on this camera at some point. As long as the white, as well as the white balance, we'll get it sorted when it comes to the finals, 100%. As you see, Ian Kennedy then getting the strike on lane 20, and Cliff Dew match him on lane 21 then. Leaves the 7 pin, does Cliff. Jenny then on lane 19, another one that was fresh from being on holiday in Malta. She wasn't actually bowling in the Malta Open. See Les Taylor heavy on that head pin. Leaves that big split. Probably ideally wanted it to be a little bit heavier, or obviously more ideally if it was lighter it would have been in that pocket, but if it had been slightly heavier he probably wouldn't have left as big a split as what he's left, if a split at all. As you watch Cliff Dew miss that single pin then, 7 pin on lane 21. See what Les Taylor can do with what he's left here. 6-7. It's looking alright. Oh, just misses that 6 pin. Matter of inches away from sparing that one. You see Andy Gillespie there, right shot, getting a strike. And Ian Hollins going right through the 3 pin there. Let's see what Ian can do with this one, because it's one of the hardest spares in bowling to spare this. As you see, Mike Frosty getting a strike.
Get this one on 279 pace at the moment.
Switch over to the other one. Jeff Brown there getting a strike. 1 away from a 279. He's bowled very well as Jeff. Looks like he'll be walking away with a high game prize fund for this one. For this game. If you're not bowled any of the Resdevs before, if you're watching as a senior, or if you're not seeing the formats are out like that, you get prize fund for winning the high game of that game. So obviously if you get the high game in game 1, you get a little bit extra prize fund. So it looks like Jeff will probably be walking away with this one for game 4. And that's what it does. 279, good game from Jeff there. You can see why he's made the senior section of the ESBT Masters next week. You can see why he's made the Resdev Masters of this. Bowling like that, you're going to be definitely in contention for a lot of things. As Colin Gross there finishes with a 232. Jeff 279. Selwyn there with a strike to start his, oh no, it's second shot of his 10th frame actually, that one. Jump back to the camera in the middle of the centre, give his a little bit more coverage then. Just missed Andy Gillespie's shot. He's left that 10 pin. Cliff Dew going through 7 pin. The left hander spares it up nicely. They're missing one the frame before. Struggling a little bit today is Cliff. Normally one of the ones up at the top of the table. As you see Andy Gillespie then picking up his spare nicely. Going into the 10th frame. Nice off the back of a spare. Ian Kennedy there leaving the 2 pin, and Mike Halliwell completely avoiding it. All pins there. Means he will finish on a 188. It's a nice spare there from Ian. Means he will have another shot to go. Sat on 146 at this moment in time. Ian Kennedy then leaves 2, means he'll finish on a 154 then. Cliff Dew then bowling on 21. Gets the Brooklyn. Starts his 10th frame off with a strike. Cliff Dew then looking to try and make it 2 from 2 for his 10th. Another strike for Cliff. Very, very, very unique run-up approach, whatever you want to call it, from Cliff Dew. Just watch how many steps he's going to take here for this one. This Jan finishes with a 191. Jan Hodge bowling pretty well, to be fair. Definitely in contention of staying up above the cut. She's around that cut line. It's Cliff Dew then gets another strike on the cards. He will finish with a 2-ton. Well then, what can Ian and Andy do respectively in their games? Andy could have potentially got a 207, but only could get 9 on his first shot. Sorry, I want a 187. Don't know where I've got my calculations from. Nice spare then from Andy, means he will have another shot in this 10th frame. Yeah, Holland sent bowling on lane 21. Nice strike from Ian. One more shot left to go for him. Currently sat on 199. Potential of getting a 209. Kennedy putting it in that Brooklyn pocket, leaves the 10 pin. Means he will finish with a 175 then. As Holland goes and gets another strike, means he will finish with a 209. So that's everybody finished. The fourth game means we're going straight on to the fifth game once they've moved over. See, left lane moves to one lane left, right lane moves one lane right. Right, and game 5. It's the same. So after 2 games, Trexler's inserting games 3 and 4 onto his spreadsheet. And I will run you through the scores once we have them. You see Jenny getting a strike on lane 18. Jules misses the 10 pin. Right, no such thing to say for Paul. So he gets the strike, the spare, sorry. Wait to see what can be done on lane 17. Strike for him. Then it's got Louise on 16. Can she get the spare? Yes, she can. Can Ian Kennedy meet them in close frame? Leaves a 10 pin. Single pins then left on 16 and 18, which Ian Kennedy couldn't pick up his single pin. Dave Bloomfield then finished going for a 7 pin on 15. Picks it up nicely, does he. Right, Clements, can he match what Dave has just done? Bottom lane 15. Yep, yeah he can. It's Jules there bowling on lane 18, gets a strike to add to her collection. It's Jenny only just misses out on that spare. And what can Ian Kennedy do here? Nice strike from him. I think that ball might have jumped out the gutter on 15. So we'll go back to the camera in the middle of the centre there. See what Colin Gross can do for his third frame. Yeah, he makes it 3 from 3 there. There's a nice spare then from Al Jenkins. Can Garrett do something here then? Yeah, it's a strike, nice strike. The Twin Towers fall down either side there. It's nearly leading statures in the night sky. Oh, the sea scenery, I suppose it is, on the back here, above the pin decks. So we got a score update then on the cards from the first 4 games then. So at the top is Paul Hewitt with a 9.94. Second place Jeff Brown with a 9.27, and in third place is Colin Gross with a 9.25. Cut-off point is Jan Hodge with a 8.14, so it's still very, very much to play for at this moment in time. Jenkins then leaving a fairly biggish split. Jenkins in, what can he do on lane 20? Can he spare it up? No, just picks up the 2, plays it safe. Colin Gross on lane 23 leaves the 10 pin. keep us awake for a little bit longer. There's some decent scores going in at the moment here. Maybe some last chance revival sessions for as well. As watch Ian Hollands there, getting a strike. I mean, he's currently sat in 13th, which is enough to get into the next section. Then it cuts down to the top 8. So you want to be getting as much as you possibly can at that moment in time. Trevor leaves. Big split there, but then bursting the ball into the right of him, Carol Orange. She's having a good game so far in this one. Definitely bouncing back from the start. 134, and that 134 is putting her pretty much in a position where she's got to go well these last 2 games to get into the top 16. Because she's currently sat in 19th position. And she's left a 10 pin there from her shot. You see Nev then bowling on 24. Couldn't get the wheel on it. Leaves 2, 4, 5. Selwyn then bowling on lane 25. Straight through that 2 pin. Hence why his left foot is left cliff due then. On a rejuvenant session in this game. Gets a 9. Coming off the back of 4 in a row. You see a nice spare there from Selwyn. Selwyn literally just underneath the cut-off line as well. Currently sat in 17th position. So 3 pins off going over that cut-off line as well is Selwyn. So he needs everything he can get, so that spare doing the world of good. See Siren or Surin just get the 8, struggling here. 2 opens in the 6th and 7th. Hopefully he can get the spare to stop the rot. Surren then getting a nice spare, stops that rot that we was talking about. As Ian Hollands always leaves an open in the 8th frame, place where you don't want to be leaving opens in this game is that. See Carol Orange then getting another strike. Like we said, she needs a couple of good games as well to potentially get herself in contention to finish in that top 16 off the back of a 134 in her first game. She needs it. She's had a 200, a 184 and a 200 again in games 2 through to 4. Cliff Dew then going well in this game. Nice strike from Cliff. Keith Hodgson getting a strike. And the same thing that Carol did on that lane. Just on the left hand side and not the right. Ian Hollins goes through the head pin and Selwyn gets one of the luckiest strikes I think we'll see all day today. This is one of the lucky ones there, Surrey there. Look to have been potentially a 7-10 left, but they've all managed to fall over in the end. Ian Hollins, 2 back-to-back opens there for him. He came over, looked at the score sheet at the side of me, and that potentially could have been his fault. His fault. He's looking at the top 8 scores, so obviously the scores carry over from this set onto the next one. And he was looking at that top 8, and because of that, maybe that's the reason. He had to start this game, that potentially might recover his game if he can finish well in the 10th. And that is something that Cliff Dew is looking to do with a strike that he had in the first of the 10th frame. We've got Nev now. He's looking to try and strike out. He's got 2 on the bounce then for this 10th frame himself. See Trevor Lambert there, leaving a pretty weird split. From my angle there, it looks like the 4-7-9. You see Cliff Dew make it 2 in the 10th free on the bounce altogether. F bowls and leaves that 10 pin to finish off his 10th game frame. His 5th game overall, 169 for him. It's finished for Carol Orange on lane 25. She got a 236, something that was needed for her. Trevor Lambert with a 170. Then on 23 gets another strike to finish his game. 258 for Cliff. Very nice game from him. And then another nice strike from him. Start his 10th frame off nicely. Alwyn and Keith both did the same. Sorry, Selwyn didn't. That miss there from Selwyn means he will finish with a 184 for his 5th game. As we said before, Selwyn just currently sat underneath that cut line in 17th position. And cut for the next round of this Masters is the top 16. As you see there, Ian Hollins picking up his spare to start his 10th frame. See Surrey then bowling on lane 24. That'll be his last shot of this 5th frame. That's the 7, means he'll finish with a 194. Not a bad game at all from him. See Ian Hollins then finish his game off with a strike, meaning he'll finish with a 203. watch Keith's last shot then on 26 and Dixon. It's a nice strike from Keith. It means he'll finish with a 194. So we'll jump to here. Let's see if he can match what Cliff Chew did. Yes, he can. 258 from him as well. A nice spare there from Les Taylor. Means he will finish with a 167. Struggled a little bit last game and struggled again in this one, has Les, putting him out of contention really for the cut. You know, never say never in this game, but with them 2 games it's going to be a hard task for him to get back into that top 16. Watch then Frosty start his 10th frame off with a strike. Nicely does he. Andy Gillespie started his off lightweight as well with a strike. So can he make it 2 in the 10th? Andy currently sat in 18th position, so just below that cut line as well. Struggled a little bit in this game, but that looks nice from Andy. And he strike out in this, make it a 188, respectable score for the 5th game. And if he has a nice final push in the 6th, he could potentially make it into the top 16. As you see, Mike Halliwell there get a nice little members bounce to make it 2 in the 10th. He's currently sat on a 203, potential of a 213 for him. As you see, a nice strike there from Gary to finish. He'll finish with a 193 for his 5th game. Andy Gillespie there finishes with a 184, the leaving 3 pins. Now Jenkins then, let's see what he can do. Can he pick up this spare? No, just misses that 10 pin there, so he'll finish with a 175. Mike Halliwell, his last shot was left of that head pin, means he'll finish with a 210. He's finished now everywhere for the 5th game, what means they'll move and they'll play their 6th and final game of this session then. Top 16 will go through after this, so from 17 down through to 28 will drop out. At this moment in time, it looks like the people that will drop out after 4 games. It'll be Selwyn Morgan, Andy Gillespie, Carol Orange, Les Taylor, Julia Claxon, Al Jenkins, Dave Boonfield, Jenny Smith, Ian McDonald, John Settle, Trevor Lambert and Ian Kennedy will be the ones. But obviously all can change. We've just seen a couple of good scores going in this last game, and it could change easily again in the 6th. I'm okay, thank you. So he said he's close to running out of charge. Did say less than 5% when I went over there before when I went on the coffee run. So we'll stick with the iPad camera until pretty much it goes out. See, strike to start from Jenny. Might have been the wrong side of pocket, but you're going to take them all a day long. Jeff Brown then bowling on lane 16, then see what he can do to start his 6K. See, 279 we saw two games ago in his fourth. Jeff Brown then see what he can do here. Can he get the spare on the cards? So Jan Hodge at the side, unlucky to leave the 7 pin, but Jeff picks up that spare and so does be at the end of its day after this one. Ian Kennedy picks up his spare then on 15. He's more than likely at the end of his day as well after this, but he will definitely be stuck around. If not up round here, but definitely be downstairs around the bar. If you've got Ian on Facebook or anything like that, you can tell he loves to take a picture of his pints when he's at the bowling centres. And he'll be watching Carol anyway. If she makes the top 16, she's just underneath the cut after 4 at the moment, but all can change. She had a good game in the 5th as well, did Carol, so there's very much potential for her to go into that top 16 positions. So it looks like there might be a 5 pin left there from Steve Coates. You see Andy Gillespie leave the 2 pin. Let's see if the Lancashire man can spare his 5 pin. It goes a little bit wide. Oh, and Steve Coates has missed the 5 pin. I think that might be 3rd one we've seen on Ride in the Ditch. It's missed the 5 pin. There's definitely 2 in the Shipley Senior doubles, of which one was captured. I don't think the other one was. See, Jenny there. All very light, missing the head pin altogether. Let's see what Steve Coates can do. Bounce pin back from that 5 pin miss. Jan Hodge gets a strike on lane 18 as Steve Coates leaves the 6th pin. Dave Bloomfield there, leaving a big split. Oh, missing it completely. So you probably tell us when to go change Patrick in a camera. And that is where we will be going now, to the top. We'll watch Carol Orange here, bowling on 23, right in front of me, where the screen is. You see though, Cliff Dew, another nice strike from him. one of the players that goes round and plays all the European tours is Cliff. Just come back from the Malta Open, as a few of them around centre here today. Carol Orange, another one who was over there. We were speaking to Ian before. We were saying about how she's been to France, Scotland, Malta. They're off somewhere else next week as well. I think they're in Europe more than what they're in England these days, Ian and Carol. I think you're in Europe more than what you're in England these days. As you see, Ian Holland's there. Pick up his spare then. Frosty with his, what he said, a little bit more elegant blue pants compared to the bright ones that we saw last time out in the ISBT. Picks up his spare, does Frosty then. Keith Hodge, lane 23. Brooklyn pocket, but still gets the strike. You've got to be taking them because there's plenty more bad luck than good luck in this game. Keith just said to her, that's the first one. Paused a little bit and then went, in this game. It's like a roller coaster, isn't it?
One of them does.
Yeah, he's saying it. Keith just explaining to me his day. Started off well. Dropped, come back a little bit, dropped off again. Let's have a look and see where he's up to. Obviously I've got the scores still from after 4 games. As the iPad camera now has definitely run out of charge. So we're down to the 2. Up at the top and in the middle of the centre. We'll jump to the one in the middle of the centre in a second. We'll find out. As we watch Keith Hodge, we'll try and find out where he is. He's sat in 15th spot after 4, so he's just inside the cut-off position. So we see what he can do. Here, the left-hander. As it left his hand, I thought that looked nicer than what it actually was. But it's a good 7 in the end from him. Saying it was quite light. You see, Frankie there, heavy on the headpin, good 9-0 from him. Bit more Brooklyn than what it was. Pocket. Frosty then. Nice strike from Frosty. The ball that you see, probably the most in the senior tour. Now in reality. Keith Hodge picks up his spare then. Going along nicely. Here's Keith.
Is there anything exciting out here apart from Jeff Brown?
Well, there's been a lot of 250 odd games.
I'm not surprised
Yeah.
that last.
So that's after 4 games there. But yeah, there's been a few. Paul's he's got a polo top on. Where's he gone? There he is. Right in front of us. Yeah. Yeah, left-hander, yeah. I think he's bowled the Ghost. So, he definitely started off with that anyway down here when he was up here.
Just, I want to see what he does.
Yeah.
It works.
Seems to be working all right at the moment. And Carol picking up that one pin there off that big split that she left there. Cliff due another strike for him. Cut to the camera then in the middle of the centre. Watch Nev go for a 5-pin, picks it up nicely. Showing Steve Coates what to do there. John Strettle then. Bowling leaves. 7-pin. You missed Steve Coates miss a 5-pin. Steve Coates missed a 5-pin before.
Oh,
Yeah. Huh?
I'm not that bad then.
Yeah, no, that's it. I missed one on Thursday.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
What was it?
Wow. So like Thursday nights though, we slow clap whenever anybody leaves a 5 pin. So put the pressure on. Cracked.
Yeah, alright, left the bloody 5 or like that.
So they're in there getting a strike then on 22. Spare there from John Strettle. Gary Barlow then on lane 19. Leaves the 7 pin as well. Does Gary. Al Jenkins then only couldn't get the ball to come back into the pocket there. He was quite wide. There's Gary there, balls. It's a nice spare. Does he? So then, like to see what Al can do here. Can he pick up his spare? That looks a little bit nicer, that one. Oh, come back quite a bit. Saying he was wide on the last overcorrection. And I tell you what, it filled me because I thought he was having that. Right then, Colin Gross on lane 20. That lean that he does. leaves the 2 pin. He obviously must have enjoyed it because he did the lean, but we missed the reaction at the pins. And I can't exactly put the camera any higher either because of the. I don't know if you're listening, if you're watching, and you see the at Mansfield, they've got like lights that are low hanging. So if we put the cameras any higher, the lights will be in the way. So it's about as high as we can get the cameras. As you see, Colin Gross then pick up his spare. Oh. Should be alright though, shouldn't you, Nev?
Well, we're still in there now. If you have a clean sheet of them, I think it should be alright.
I mean, the cut at the moment after 4 was what, 8:11? Is it there?
What's the top?
So 8:11, and what you're 100, well, just under 100 pins inside that, aren't you really?
What's this?
So
This is what counts.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
It's 71.
Was it 871 yours? Because yours wasn't the 890, no? Oh, is that Martin Clements? All right. Should be in. You should be in. At the side of us, just speaking to us. He just wanted to check up on what he had. He was just saying he had a 169 last game. He's currently was sat in 6th position after 4. So he's just it's a bit of a squeaky bum time for Nev, saying if he keeps a clean sheet, he should stay in. And that is what he's doing so far. Strike 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare strike for him to start his first 5 frames. So you see him then on lane 22 then here. Right, a shot. Let's see what Nev can do. He used the 8 pin, so unlucky. But it was a good shot from him. And if he keeps putting them there, he's more than likely going to keep that clean sheet that he says. See, a nice spare then from Jules on lane 20. see there, Colin Groves picking up his 10-pin spare then. Started off with an open, did Colin, but then bounced back with 4 in a row, and he's had 2 9 spares to follow that. As you see, Ian there, just going straight through the head pin. It's a good 7 in the end. Following the bit, he's 8-1 open the frame before. You see there then, Al with a nice strike. Bouncing back from his 9 miss open the frame before as well. Surren then bowling, leaves 2 on the right. A lot of people now, as the lanes have broke down, going heavy into the head pin. That's something that I've noticed. And then a few people trying to correct it, going wide, and then they're missing the head pin completely. So it's one of them games is 10-pin bowling. It is very mind trickery game. You see Surren there picking up the spare. Shouts if he wasn't sure as he was walking off, but it never looked in doubt really. It's coming to the end then on 25 and 26. Just in the 9th frame there. So we'll watch this shot from Nev, see if he can keep it clean sheet, and then as soon as we've seen him, we'll jump over to the camera that's behind that pair of lanes and watch them through until they finish. As Nev gets away with that one and gets a good 9. He's on for keeping this clean sheet, is Nev. Colin Groves picks up his single pin spare, never in doubt on them ones. Big stretch of the arm off camera there from John Strettle after he picked a bit of strike there on lane 22. Nev then bowling for this 7-pin, picks up his 7-pin nicely, keeping that clean sheet that he's saying. So we'll jump over then to the camera behind lanes 25 and 26 as they come to the end of their game. Ian the only one left to bowl in this 9th frame, and then they'll go into the 10th. On this pair of lanes then, Kevin Lamb after 4 was sat in 9th position. Cliff Dew was sat in 7th position. Ian there with the spare, he's sat in 13th after 4. Obviously we've already bowled the 5th, and then this one will go in as soon as the scores have been entered in on that one. They'll be published up on Riding the Ditch, so you'll be able to see them there, full list. So I'm not going to keep you waiting on the stream until we get them scores in, so if you just keep an eye on the social media, I'll probably give it about 5-10 minutes after all I've finished bowling, and you'll be able to see it up on our Facebook page. Just search Riding the Ditch there on Facebook and you'll see the standings. You see Cliff Dew just leave a nasty split, the left-hander. Keith Hodge there with a nice spare then from him. Just that one open right in the middle of the game from Keith as we switched the camera off him before. With a nasty split, hence the reason for the open, but he's kept it clean. Also on this pair of lanes then on 25 and 26, you've got Frank Livesey currently sat in 12th, and Ian Hollands, as we said, sat in 13th position. As Ian there starts his 10th frame off with an 8. 2 pins that should be spared by Ian there on that right hand side. Oh, nice spare there from Ian then. Les Taylor then bowling on lane 24. Can he pick up the 3 that he's left? Yes, never in doubt there. Once that left his hand, it looked like he was going to get there all the way. So Kevlan finished with a 188 in his last game. Cliff Duke with a 195. He opened in the 9th and the 10th, did Cliff. And realistically, it's a good job that it's coming to the break then for Cliff after that one. With them 2 opens at the end, because you never know, that could have progressed into a bit of momentum of opens if he'd have carried on for another game after this. You see then Frosted with a strike. On that top 8, but with a 182, we will struggle to try and get a bit of momentum on them. It probably needed to be around that 2-ton mark. That par score for the bowlers. As you think about it, Frank Livesey there with a strike then. He'll finish with a 191. So we'll go over to the camera, middle of the centre then, see what is going on over here as people get into the 10th frame. Colin Gross opens in his 10th frame, means he'll finish with a 204 after that split that you just about caught right at the very end. It's Nev there asking for the washers to stay up for something there. Manages to keep it on the lane. Means he's still keeping that clean sheet that he's after. Gary Barlow then lane 20. That's a strike to start his 10th frame off nice there. 205 as it stands for Gary. Potential of a 225 then. Still keeping it clean, Nev. Surin then gets a nice little mix up, keeps potential of him having a clean game as well. Repairing on 21, still clean so far. Harry Barlow there, just a little bit heavy, leaves the 9-pin. Finished then on lane 23 for Carol. She got a 199 to finish her last game. Finished for Les as well then. He'll get a 198. Nev then starts his 10th frame off with a strike. John Strettle, Brooklyn strike. And as we said before, there's more bad luck than good luck, so you got to be taking them all day long. Don't put your hand on your head, mate. You've got to be taking them. Taking them. You shall do. Gary Barlow finished with a 215. John Strattle there, leaving the single pin. He's finished 4th, Frosty, and 2:15. Surely. Frosty's was 8th after 4. With a 2:15 there, and I think he had a decent game in the 5th as well. He'll definitely see his name above the cut. As I see that a couple of messages have actually come through on the YouTube here, but you know, the likes of Paul Oberman and Emily Gross and Dave Parker are watching. Emily's spending a break watching the live stream as well. These come through quite a bit ago actually. Yeah. As Paul Oberman actually put the kiss of death as well on Colin Gross, saying he's doing alright, and then opened in the 10th frame in his last game, but he is doing alright, to be fair. Was 3rd after 4. Couple of 2:58s for him as well. One in the 5th, one in the 3rd. As you see. So a net with a spare means he'll keep a clean game as well. And Nev, he kept his clean sheet with them 2 strikes at start his 10th frame. Al picking up his spare as well. So Nev finished with a 2:06 in his last game. John had a 182 strike to finish then for Surrey. He'll finish with a 2:01. It was a good finish then for him. Should see him make the cut. I don't know what he had in the 5th game, to be honest with him, but if he had something around that, should potentially see the cut. He was 10th position after 4. It's gonna see. I think we might see a bit of movement, to be fair, in this, because there's been a couple of good scores going in this last game, and Al Jenkins there finishes with a 143. That'll be the end of his day from Al. He was 22nd after 4, and when you're hitting a 143 in your last game, I don't think you will see the cut. We'll stick with the camera as you just about catch lanes 17 and 18 on this one. Left the shot, Dave Bonfield there. You won't see him in the shot, but picks up the 2 finishes. He finishes with a 2:02 from where I'm looking. No, he doesn't, sorry. Wrong side. Finishes with a 163. So that'll be the end of Dave Bonfield's day as well.
She's doing good. She's finished hers because hers was like 200, 220, 250, 200.
Well,
Andy Gillespie then finishes with about 2:11, I think.
I can believe that.
Looks like Jan Hodge finished with a 170, either 170 or 173 in her last game.
Oh, you're both good.
I'm looking at a bit of a dodgy angle, I'm not going to lie. Louise has struggled in this last game. She started her 10th frame off right with a strike.
Scratch? No,
11:53 scratch.
Are you lagging?
You'll see her pop into shot
He's lagging behind.
very, very slightly. There you go. And 17. These shouts of push as that 10 pin wobbles. 157. Potential of a 158. She spares it.
once I changed my name to Grumpy, I shot 211 and 230.
Is that seriously what you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
My name to Grumpy on game 5 and shot a 211 followed by a 230.
I don't know if that picked up on the microphone, but that is class. Ian Kennedy changing his name to Grumpy on the thing. He's got his Grumpy shirt on as well. He's Mr. Grumpy shirt. 2:11.2. What was it? 2:11.2:30. So yeah. Oh, that's mad. That's mad. That's what you'll be doing now on Thursday nights and stuff, won't you, at Shipley? Well, it's finished over there then on 17 and 18, so it's finished for the qualifying session of the day. We will lose 17 through to 28 after this. So as soon as we have the scores, we'll put them up on Facebook. But until then, it is goodbye. It'll be a break for around about 45 to an hour. I'll give you an update on the times as soon as we have them put on Facebook as well. We'll set up a live stream with the time, so it should be fine on that one. But yeah.